even afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
Thank you for joining us. Please take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. If you are finding value in these enrichment sessions, please consider supporting this page financially. Your donations allow us to continue to provide spiritual enlightenment, self-exploration, and kingdom knowledge. Also, consider becoming a partner because partnerships have this privilege. As a partner, you'll be able to attend our annual Partners Only Summer Summit, join us for our 6 a.m. virtual daily guided meditation sessions, weekly advanced empowerment sessions, regular prophetic insights and instructions, 30% discount on all Emerge books and merchandise, and a custom Emerge t-shirt. You'll also gain full access to the private Emerge movement community page as well as group chats. Once again, thank you for watching.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to this special empowerment session. This is our normal diving deep, and this conversation and session usually takes place behind the curtain within the partner portal, specifically for those who are partners with the Emerge movement. But tonight we're allowing you in behind the curtain, giving you a sneak peek into some of the conversations that we have in the partner portal. But mainly because I felt like there was an urgency to have this conversation on the public platform so everybody would be able to participate and to chime in and hear and discuss, and we can have a good, robust conversation centered around the particular subject matter that we're going to be looking into. Well, several things prophetically, apostolically, that we're going to look into tonight. Hey, Kayla, so good to see you on. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Gloria. It's good to see you on. It's good to see all of you that are popping up and coming on. Listen, do me a favor. You know what I'm going to ask you to do right now. Take a moment before we get started and like the video. Like it. But I also need you to tag as many people as you can and invite them to come over and be a part of the conversation tonight, and share this video on your page. Do it right now. Do it right now. Now, don't sit there and not do it. I'm serious. It only takes about 30 seconds for you to do it. Just click the share button and then post, and it will pop up on your page, and all of the people that are stalking your page will see this live broadcast, and maybe, possibly, they'll tune in and decide that they'll want to watch as well and participate in the conversation. If you know some people that you think would benefit from being a part of such a spiritual community and conversation, tag them in the comments right now. Just go ahead and tag as many people as you can think of, as many people as you like, and invite them to come on over and take part in this conscious conversation that we'll be having tonight. I've got several, well, not too many, but several things that I want to kind of discuss with you prophetically. I have a word of prophecy that I want to speak and share with those of you who are listening, and then you can take it and you can share it with others, or you can send the video to others and they can watch it on the replay. I also have some prophetic insight, apostolic insight, if you will, that I want to share with those of you who are listening tonight. And words of encouragement and empowerment. I want to make sure that I leave you with some practical tools and admonishments that you're able to use in order to create, cultivate, and then curate the life that you desire. One of the things about the prophetic and really the apostolic, it's supposed to. And I'm not, as you most of you already know, I'm not a part of the traditional ideology of what church and Christianity and all of that is. But I don't ascribe to any of that. But just the actual meaning and definitions of the word. The prophetic is supposed to foretell and forthtell. Okay, to foretell, that is to give you insight into possibilities and future events that are unfolding, coming, revealing those things and preparing you beforehand so that you can be ready for them. Forthtelling is the uncovering and revealing and making plain and clear concepts and principles, systems and practices and patterns that you might not have been consciously aware of before. That is essentially what it means to be prophetic. It's not saying to you, I can see that you've been going through some things in your life. Well, who the hell hadn't been going through some things in their life? Everybody has. I can see you've been asking God for some things. Well, who hasn't? I mean, those are generalities. That's buckshot words that people just throw out there. And I hear the Lord saying He's getting ready to turn it around for you. It's like, oh, shut up. Okay, you ain't saying nothing. Okay, but real prophetic utterances are very specific. I don't know who I'm talking to. Well, if you don't know who you're talking to, shut the hell up. It's like that just don't make no sense. It's like, I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who this word is for. Well, if you don't know, then you don't need to say it. Shut up. Okay? But the real, authentic prophetic utterances and voices are very specific, and they give you very clear guidance and instruction and insight into those things that are coming to pass, those possibilities that are in front of you. And then there is the second part of it, which is forthtelling, which is giving a clear understanding, insight, revelation of those practical principles, practices, and patterns, systems that you may not have been consciously aware of and may not have fully understood. And so that's what the prophetic is supposed to be. Now, the apostolic is supposed to, by definition of the word, again, we're not talking about a religion, we're just talking about clear definitions of these particular words. The apostolics are those who are giving apostolic understanding of words, are giving you a insight into the changing, shifting dynamics of the paradigm of humanity. Let me say that again. They are giving you insight, foresight, understanding of the changing and shifting dynamics of humanity, of the paradigm of humanity, and the mode of operation that is taking place within the earth, the modus operandi that is now formulated within the earth as old systems are being torn down and passing away and becoming obsolete. The apostolic voices began to give you a futuristic understanding of the systems that are coming on the scene to replace those old systems and prepare you for being able to function adequately within the new system. Okay? That is what it's about. A real apostolic voice is a futurist. They're looking to the future and see it forming and then prepare the way for those who are coming along, following their particular teaching and their instruction and so on and so forth. Now, every person, excuse me, my head was itching. Every person has the capacity to access the prophetic as well as the apostolic. Okay? Everyone does. Everyone who has the Spirit of God, God has no pick favorites. Everyone has the capacity and the ability, the right and the privilege to pierce the veil and look into the prophetic as well as the apostolic. Okay? There are those, though, who have committed themselves to that particular calling or work, and they will they have made it a life's work. It is a part of their destiny and their purpose in the earth, And so they may be more affluent in those areas, but it does not mean that you are crippled and solely dependent upon them in order to give you insight and understanding or to confirm what what you are sensing, feeling, or intuitively knowing. Okay? So I don't want you to get the idea that I or anyone else is in some highfalutin, elevated position that you can never aspire to, never attain, never be able to. Anybody that tells you there are things that God revealed to me that he won't show you, they're telling a lie, especially if it's about your life. There is nothing that God is going to reveal to anybody else about your life that he's not going to talk to you about. That's just a lie. Anybody who tells you that, they are outright lying to you. There's some things that God giving me insight on. He ain't going to show you. That's bull. God is no respecter of persons. Okay? So God is willing to reveal and to make clear and to unfold to anyone who has the desire and the commitment to look into it and to learn and to hear. Whoever has an ear to hear, let them hear what the Spirit is saying to humanity, the body, the church, all of us, the ecclesia. Okay? Whoever has an ear to hear, whoever has an ear to hear, not whoever has an ear, because everybody has an ear, but not everyone has an ear to hear. People are deliberately deaf, dumb, and stupid. Lord, I don't mean to be harsh. I'm not trying to be harsh, but there are people who choose to just be deaf, dumb, and stupid. They don't want to know anything more. They're not trying to learn anymore. They are perfectly satisfied and content with what grandmama and Reverend Cutthroat taught them. And it's like, hey, it's good enough for mama. It's good enough for me. And they will stay right there in the position that they're in for the rest of their life and be totally satisfied and content. And that's fine. But there is a growing number of people, man, I'm getting ahead of myself already, that have come to the place where now they can't be satiated with the same old pablum that they've been receiving from preachers and prophets and bishops and churches and mosques and synagogues and temples, and they can't be satiated with the same old religious jargon and garbage and legalism and dogma and all of that. They just like, listen, I want serious, real, authentic word understanding and insight from God. And the problem is with most people is that they keep looking for it in all of the wrong places. You're trying to find it in church, or you're trying to find it in a guru or in a life coach, or you're trying to find it. Y'all listen, I do life coaching. Nothing wrong with life coaching. Nothing wrong with a guru or a shaman or a pastor or a bishop or any of these other things. But the real answers that you seek are inside of you. Everything that you desire to experience, to know, to understand is already loaded and coded in your DNA. You simply have to turn inward and begin to do the necessary work to uncover what is already inside of you. You understand? Do you know how powerful you are? Do you know just how infinite, how limitless, how boundless you are? Do you realize that you are a divine individuation of the all of everything, that everything that God is, you are, and all that you are is a reflection of God? Do you understand that you have access to all the knowledge, experience, and insight of the universe throughout the time, across the multiverse, in this world and in every other dimensional existence that there is? I know You're not used to hearing that because, most religious organizations are designed to make you dependent, to make you have to depend on the leader and depend on the organization and depend on its rules in order for you to be able to grow. And they feed you just enough to keep you coming back for more so that we can continue to put the hooks in you and manipulate and control your life so that you are fearful about even trying to live out loud. And that's never been the desire of God for the all of everything, for the Creator. It's never been the Creator's desire for any of us. Okay? It has never been the Creator's desire. The desire of the Creator God is for you to experience and have life and have it more, overwhelming, abundant, fully, pressed down, shaken together, running over, without limits. That's God's desire for everybody in humanity. Okay? And we just need to be awakened to that. All right, I kind of went off on a tangent right there, and I don't want to use up too much time because I want to definitely jump on these things that are getting that I need to. I jumped on here to share with you tonight. Oh my goodness, Daniel's on here. Yes, it's going to be a good conversation now. This is going to be good tonight. Yes, indeed. I'm going back through the comments real quick, Daniel, just to see what you said. Yes, indeed. Apostolics lead the way into new paradigms, often as pioneers. Yeah, that's why we get killed, crucified by everybody. I was telling someone the other day, I can't remember who it was. It's like, I've gotten so accustomed to it now that the things that I hear people jumping up and down and shouting and carrying on about are things that I was teaching 15, 20 years ago, and they're just starting to catch up to it now. And back when I started saying it before, they called me every kind of crazy and demon possessed and cult leader and some of everything else. But now it's commonplace, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a revelation, fresh manna from heaven. It's like, okay, yeah. Some of the same people who are now teaching it were the ones who were calling me crazy then. And the things that I'm teaching now, 10 years, 15 years from now, they'll be teaching that and thinking and acting as though they came up with it. Oh my goodness. But anyway, let me go on. Let's finish these. Oh, look at that. Oh, hey, Chrissy, good to see you. Hey, you know what? I need to talk to you, Chrissy, too, because I got something in mind about, because you're in Texas, right? So I need to talk to you, and you're in real estate. So yeah, we need to talk. I got something in mind that I want to do in Texas. So yeah, we're gonna connect and talk. Okay. You understand? Run, shouting is not good enough. Hey, Tanya. She said running and shouting is not good enough. All that running and shouting, and then when you get through, all you is sweaty and tired. You ain't learned a thing. God almighty. You just sweaty and tired. You done messed up your hair and got your clothes all sweaty. You stinking musty, and you still don't know nothing that you didn't know already. That's it, Kimoria. Okay, Kimoria. Kimoria says, that's it, sir. Yes, I am the God that I seek. You are the answer that you've been looking for. You are the solution to the problem. Yes, that's exactly right. Daniel says, melanated people, the primordial beings of the earth era, are naturally natural psychic and clairvoyant beings. You better know that. And it's not racism, and it's not trying to put down any other, ethnicities, but because we are the first beings on the planet, this planet, three-dimensional form, then there is an inordinate amount of capacity and ability within us because of just who we are. That's a whole nother conversation, though. I love Daniel. I love it. Okay. I love Daniel. All right. So, listen, there's a drastic shift that's about to take place in the next 10 days. And that number 10 is very significant because the number 10 is related to change and shift in our mindset, in our thinking, in our movements, as well as in our experiences. And there are 10 days left. In 10 days, we will have arrived at June the 1st. And there's a dramatic shift that's about to take place over the course of these next 10 days, and that will be highlighted and accelerated when we hit June the 1st. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit tonight and give you some insight, because the goal here is to make sure that you are aware of what is about to take place so that you can prepare, and we'll talk a little bit about that, the preparation for it, so that you will see it with your eyes and not be affected by it in your life. Goodness. Okay. And it's not for you to hoard it for yourself. It's for you to share it with as many people as you possibly can. Those who may never tune into a live like this, mainly, maybe because they, are just unaware of it, or because they just don't like me. Okay. But they like you. So you can be the mouthpiece, and you don't even have to tell them you got it from me. You can just tell them, listen, this is what I'm sensing and what I know is getting ready to happen, and you might need to prepare and take these steps. Okay. So I don't want you to sit here and hoard this to yourself and, and do like religious folk normally do. They get some information and then they just want to hold it all to themselves and act like, they above and ahead of everybody else. And that's not what it's about. Okay. But there's a dramatic shift that's getting ready to take place that's already in motion right now. And there are indicators within our economy here in the United States, as well as the global economy around the world. There are indicators with the wars that are taking place, specifically with the war that's taking place where Israel is at war with the people of Gaza, even though they say it's Hamas, but we recognize that this is a genocide. They are not just going after Hamas. Hamas is just a Trojan horse to be able to go after the people of Gaza, who they don't see as human. And so what's happening to them is an atrocity, because the Israelis and the Israeli government are treating the Palestinians just like white people treated black people as African slaves. It's the same exact thing. But again, whole nother conversation. But there are indicators that arise from looking at that particular geopolitical event that's taking place there in Israel and in Gaza, as well as what's happening in the Congo and in Sudan. It is quite significant that this is happening in the Sudan at the time that it's taking place, in the location, that it's taking place. Because if which we recognize that it is not literal, that the whole garden narrative is an allegory, but the allegory is actually set right there in the area of the Sudan and Congo. Okay? So it's quite significant. And we need to pay attention to the indicators that are taking place right there. We also need to pay attention to the social indicators that are taking place across the entire globe. And so we're going to get more specific about all of those as we prepare, as I reveal what's getting ready to take place and talk about what you can do to prepare yourself. But there are a few other things that I felt really just the unction and the intuitive push to share and to speak on tonight. Here is the thing, and I kind of touched on it already at the beginning. I know what religion has taught most of you, and it's very hard to unlearn something that you've learned, especially when it has been your truth for so many centuries, years in your life, decades in your life. And so you have built up a system, a mechanism, a mindset, and a set of almost automatic responses and behaviors that align with that particular idea. But I need for you to get out of your mind that you are dependent upon anyone other than God in you. I need you to understand, I am not anti-preacher, bishop, apostle, guru, shaman, minister. I am not anti-life coach, because I'm a life coach as well. But please understand that all of these people, positions, and teachers are put there to give you to empower you. There's the word, to empower you, not to control you, not to manipulate you, not to cripple you, and not to make you dependent upon them, where you become pray for me junkies. Pray for me, pray for me, pray for me, pastor, pray for me, apostle, pray for me, prophet, pray for me, pray for me. I'm going, pray for me. I'm thinking about doing that. Pray for me. What is the Lord telling you? You got a word for me? What's the Lord showing you? Is the Lord telling you anything about me? You sound crazy. But I understand that that is the way the system is designed, to make you into dependence. You have got to break away from that and listen to this one, because this is going to be a little bit more difficult to swallow. I know the one about your leader, your pastor, and everything else like that you have exalted and almost made into a god is tough enough, but this is going to be even tougher. Okay? You're not supposed to depend on Jesus either, or Muhammad, or Buddha, or Krishna. Lord have mercy. I know I just got everybody mad at me right there. I was leaning and depending on Jesus. No. Jesus ain't coming. Jesus ain't gonna fix it. He's not fixing it and turning it around and working it out, and Jesus will work it. No, he ain't. I know you don't like hearing that, and that's probably real hard for you to deal with, but that is erroneous. That is bad theology. It is bad teaching. It's a catchy song now. It'll get you going. Jesus will work it out. Work it out, baby. Need fast shoes. Work it out. I'm telling you, it'll get you going. I've had many a good time singing the song and dancing but it's just based upon absolute nonsense. Jesus ain't working it out. Muhammad ain't working it out. Neither is Buddha. Neither is Hindu. Neither is Krishna. Neither is anyone else going to work it out for you. And guess what? Even God is not going to work it out for you. Lord, this is going to really get you right now. Listen to what I said. God does not work for you. Let me say it again. I am trying to help you. Please don't click off and run away. Listen to what I'm saying before you go jumping off a cliff and go telling a lie. Talking about, you ain't gonna believe what I heard Miles say, man. He said God don't care nothing about you. I didn't say that. I said God does not work for you. I posted earlier today that you better learn how to fight, because God is not going to fight your battle. God is not. The battle is not God. The battle is yours, and you better learn how to fight. You better learn how to fend for yourself. God does not work for you. God works through you and as you. Let me say it one more time for the people sitting in the back in the peanut gallery, so that they'll get it right when they go and tell it. God does not work for you. God works through you and as you. You need to erase this erroneous, ridiculous idea of some man sitting in the sky on a throne who sits high and looks low with a beard and a scepter in his hand and swing down sweet chariot and come and just rescue and fight and sending Raphael and Gabriel and Jeriel and all of the other elves. That's nonsense. God is present in you, through you, and as you. God lives, moves, responds, acts inside of you as you. God has residence inside of you. I don't know how this became so confused and how this became so twisted. Even the scriptures that you love so much in your Bible says, know ye not that your body is the dwelling place or the temple or the habitation of the Spirit of God or God itself. Okay? God does not live outside of you. Please understand it in the context, okay? Because of course, God is ubiquitous. God is everywhere. God is omnipresent. So because God is omnipresent, there is no place that God is not. That includes inside of you. God cannot be omnipresent and not be in you. Let me say it again. This flies in the face of everything that most religious organizations teach you and have you to believe that you are somehow lost and on your way to hell with the handcuffs of hell on your hands and the shackles of damnation on your feet, and that you need to find God. You need to find him, all right, in you. Okay? You need to get saved and filled with the Holy Ghost. If you didn't have the Spirit of God in you, you wouldn't be living, because you are the reflection, the image, and the individuation of that Spirit. You are a spirit that has a soul that lives and dwells in this three-dimensional form. And it's impossible. I see you ain't got no God in you. That's impossible. Because if God is everywhere, then that means God has to be in everyone. And if God is not in everyone, then God is not everywhere, which means God is nowhere. Now, come on, let's just use some logic. Turn your brain on, turn off your church brain, and turn on your intellectual brilliance that is innate within you, loaded and coded in your DNA. You know this. It makes sense to you, even though it troubles you because it goes against everything that you've been told and taught. You know this, and it's important that you understand it so that the things that I'm going to say following will be able to impact your life, and you'll be able to rise to the moment and adjust and shift and evolve for what is about to take place. God lives in you. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care your color, your ethnicity. I don't care your sexual orientation. That's right. God is in homosexuals and gays and lesbians and transsexuals and queer people and God is in black people and white people, Asian people, Indian people. God is in all of us, because God is everywhere. There is no place that God is not. God is ubiquitous throughout the multiverse. Okay? Now, there are those who may not be consciously aware of the presence of God, the isness of God, the essence of God in them. And our job, your job, is to make people aware of just how powerful and divine they are, because they are the living, breathing representation of God in the earth. But God is there whether they're aware of the presence or not. And see, that's the thing. Because God is spirit and because God is the all of everything, God doesn't have an ego. So God doesn't care whether you believe or not, aware or not, conscious or not, accept or not. So what? God doesn't stop being God because somebody chooses not to believe. That would just be like you walking up to me saying like, well, I know you say you black, but I don't believe that. I think you white. Well, okay, you're thinking I'm white and not believing I'm black doesn't change my color. I'm still black. I look like a stupid person sitting there arguing with you about whether I am who I know that I am. So why would I waste time? And why would I be offended? And why would I be upset? And why would I be angered or bruised in my ego because you choose to view me as something other than what I am? That's on you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? All right. So God does not work for you. God works in you, through you, as you. You are an unlimited, powerful resource and being in the earth. Are you understanding me? Hold on a second. Daniel's on the screen. Let me see what he says here. Religion uses assumptive logic against most people, knowing that they don't read, study, or procure knowledge of their own. You're absolutely right. It's just handed down ignorance from one generation to the other. You want to know what a real generational curse is? It's generational ignorance. It's when you hand down a mindset from generation to generation, and you hand it down in such a way that it has become authoritative and is not to be questioned. That's a real generational curse. It ain't got nothing to do with behavior. It's got to do with a mindset. Mindset is what leads to behavior. Okay. Again, y'all gonna get me off. Let me come on back. Okay. So please understand. All right. The answer you're seeking for, the solution that you're seeking for, the help that you're looking for is inside of you. You simply need to access it, and you use the different spiritual practices like prayer and meditation and fasting and speaking affirmations and chanting and other rituals that you can use in order to pull yourself inward so you're able to contact, commune, and connect with your own divinity. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to fix it. You know why? Because you don't need saving. Lord, I know I just made some folk mad with me there. You don't need rescuing. You don't need saving. You don't need fixing. The only thing that needs to be fixed is your mind. Fix your mind and the rest of you will fall into alignment. Fix your mind. Fix your mind. Stop thinking like you're a victim, like you're some helpless, crippled victim that's just leaning and depending on pastor and mother and superintendent and bishop and prophet and on shaman, life coach and guru and on Jesus and Krishna and Muhammad and lean and depend on what's already inside of you. You would be amazed at the infinite capacity and potential that is within you if you would just tap into your interior self, your divinity, your divine being. Everything that you would ever desire and would ever find necessary to navigate and matriculate through this three-dimensional existence that we call life on earth is already in you. You came into this three-dimensional form, loaded and coded in your DNA with everything necessary for you to be able to procure the life that you desire and experience the experiences that you desire in the earth. The problem is you let people, circumstances, culture, environment, religion talk you out of who you really are. Man, this is all relevant to what I'm getting ready to come to. I'm telling you it is. Don't think I'm just rambling, because I'm not. I'm telling you. You let the church and the mosque and the synagogue and the temple, you let your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your auntie, Reverend Cutthroat, Bishop Know Nothing, Prophet Blind and Can't See, talk you out of who you really are and convince you that you were wretch undone, a poor wretched sinner stuck in the muck and the mire. Lord have mercy. Shut up. I can laugh about it now because, hey, I was convinced too. I was brought up the same way you were. I was convinced that I was broken and wrong and sinful and dirty just by virtue of birth. Hadn't done anything yet, was too young, didn't know anything yet. But I knew that everybody from the pulpit and everybody in my Sunday school class said, you a sinner. You a sinner, you are dirty, you filthy, you are on your way to hell. And you came here that way because you was born in sin and shaped in iniquity. What a crock of bull crap. Imagine how shocked and perturbed I was when I finally understood that was David speaking out of his own depression about himself. What kind of foolishness is that? And then you're going to try and heap that over on me. They ain't got nothing to do with me. That was David's issue. Thing in his foot. He was depressed, suicidal almost. Okay, so let me keep going. All right? So like I said, nobody's coming to save you because you don't need saving. You have everything that you need at your disposal. Don't be like the person who's like, it's like you standing and starving in the grocery store. Lord have mercy. It's like you are starving in the grocery store with a pocket full of money. It's like you are in control of cruise ballistic missiles and you're running from somebody with a stick. Holler about, save me, somebody help me. And you got ballistic missiles sitting here at your disposal and all they've got is a stick. You standing there in the grocery store, I'm so hungry, I'm so famous, will somebody feed me? And you in a grocery store with a pocket full of money. Somebody feed me, please. Jesus, come and feed me, Lord. Take care of me, please, Lord. I don't know what I was going to do without you, Jesus. What about that money you got in your pocket and all this food you're surrounded by? That's essentially what it is. You have even your own scriptures. Come on. Behold, I give unto you power to tread over scorpions, over serpents, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. You shall receive power. After that, the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and you shall be witnesses unto me into Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria, and the uttermost parts of the world. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Nay, in all these things, you are more than a conqueror. All of these scriptures that you hear all the time, you shout and buck and about. And then when all the challenges of life come, all of a sudden, oh, Lord, I don't know what I was going to do, Lord. I'm going to just lay it in your hand and put it on the altar, God. Oh, God, it's not my battle, Lord. It's yours. Then what the hell you need all the power for then? Why you need all this power inside you if all you're going to do is run to him? You sound ridiculous. You see how contradictory religion can be? Believe me, I understand that. Y'all know I can quote them now because I've been doing this. I started preaching over 45 years ago, so I know the scriptures. I know them backwards and forward and sliding down the pole, as they used to say. Okay? This power resides inside of you. Now, this is important. And there's another text that I'm going to bring up and use as a base for where we're headed toward, that talks about not being able to put new wine into old bottles or old wine skins. This text is often misunderstood, but the text in its context is putting forth a simple message that as time progresses and things begin to evolve and shift and change, because there's only one constant in the world, and that is change. The one constant in this world is change. Nothing stays the same. Okay? It is always changing, evolving, reshaping, reforming. It is always moving. Energy is not stagnant. It is always kinetic. It is always moving. And so what this text is saying in its context, a simple message is that in this ever-changing, unfolding, shifting, evolving world, you cannot become so attached and married to old mindsets and old systems and old patterns and old mechanisms and try and drag them into the next phase, next period, next era of life. When the paradigm shifts, you have to walk away from old operations and ways of thinking. You cannot store what is coming in the containers that worked for back then. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? Are you understanding? And my glasses keep fogging up, I guess, because I'm sweating so badly over here. So my glasses keep fogging up. So I'm going to put them down for a minute. You cannot contain it. Okay? You cannot be a blockbuster in a digital world. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with Blockbuster in its time. Nothing wrong with Blockbuster. It was wonderful. It was popular. It was profitable. But times shifted, technology advanced, society moved on, and those who understood that, who could see this coming, invested in that future, prepared for that future. And so when it arrived, they were already in place and ready to reap the full benefits of what it was bringing. Did you catch what I just said? Because if you did, then you just caught on to the principle and you've caught on to the substratum of what it is that I'm trying to give you tonight. It is nothing wrong with what you have experienced and known and been comfortable and complacent with and embraced in this moment. But time has not stopped moving. Evolution has not ceased, unfolding and revealing and coming, and the paradigm has shifted as we entered into this age of Aquarius. And now as Pluto is sitting in Aquarius, which means that there is a huge momentum behind the unfolding of technology advances, knowledge advances, natural resources advances, and the way that humanity lives, moves, breathes, and exists in the earth, as we are seeing the unfolding and the approach of AI. And this is in the infancy form. Trust me, what you're seeing with AI right now seems fascinating and amazing. It is absolutely child's play to what is possible and what will come to pass in these next 5 to 10, at the most 15 years. That is why Pluto is sitting where it's sitting and will remain there after a brief excursion out for a moment. Then it returns back into Aquarius and will remain there for the next 20 years, because there is an unfolding and a dramatic shifting taking place around the globe and in humanity. And those who are prepared will already be there waiting and ready for what is unfolding and taking place, so they can reap the benefits of this unfolding reality that is taking place in the earth. Are you hearing me? Those who are unprepared or choose to stubbornly hang on and cling to what has been will be like the last remaining Blockbuster sitting on a corner praying that a customer will come and patronize them, when they've even stopped making the VCRs to play your movies. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You have got to be able to shift and move with the time to have, I'm going to use a term loosely here, the spirit of Issachar. I use it loosely about the tribe Issachar because they were known to understand the stars and the times and the seasons. So you got to have that spirit where you understand the movements and the progressions of what's taking place in the times and in the seasons, so that you're able to evolve and adjust and prepare yourself so that you are in position to take full advantage of what is unfolding and what is occurring. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? Is it making sense to you? Okay, I need for you to really grasp this. I need for you to understand that this old wine, new bottle, new wine and old bottle narrative is about your tearing down the old systems, your old system and mode of thinking. If you are unwilling to question everything that you think you know, you are not prepared to step into the future as it is unfolding. Because what is taking place and what is getting ready to unfold before us is going to require you to be pliable, to be willing to critically think and examine everything that you think you already know, and leave space for the possibility of something that may have at one point in your mind been outrageous, but now is becoming a reality. Do you imagine how many people thought it was outrageous for a man to be able to fly in an airplane? Do you imagine how many people thought it outrageous that you be able to share information with people around the globe with the click of a button, that you be able to sit at some machine sitting on your desk in your house and communicate with the world and access the information from around the world, from anywhere in the world, at the click of a button in a matter of seconds? Do you know how outrageous that sounded at the time? And yet what was considered outrageous is now become the reality. And I often tell people, I always tell folks to watch The Matrix. That movie came out ages ago, but it was it wasn't ahead of its time. It was right on time. And if you read it, you would understand it was a documentary and an instruction manual. Go back and watch it again. Go back and watch it again. Not all the other remakes. Just watch The Matrix. And pay attention to the dialogue and what's being said. Some futurists really understood the assignment when they made that movie. Okay? And I'm telling you, you have to start thinking futuristically. And yes, there are those who call themselves futurists. I'm a futurist. There are others who are futurists. But everyone has the capacity to be able to be a futurist, to look into the future, to look and see what is to come. Please stop elevating people and thinking that, oh my goodness, there's something great and dynamic and spooky about them that I could never ascertain. Absolutely, you can. Okay? The same spirit that is in them is the same spirit that is in you. The same spirit that raised up Jesus from the dead also quickens or makes alive, animates your three-dimensional form. Are you getting what I'm saying to you? Are you catching this? Okay? So it's in you, and you have got to start to prepare for what is unfolding. I guess you're saying, well, man, what's unfolding? Tell us so we can start getting prepared. I'm getting there. But all of this is necessary to get you there. I guess I got a long introduction and a very short message. This is a long introduction. Let me see. Put my glasses on for a second. It's been 56 minutes. So it's been a long introduction, but it's going to be a very short message. Okay? The other thing is there's another narrative that I want to draw your attention to, and then I'm going to get to it. It is the narrative of when Jesus encounters Mary and Mary Magdalene about their brother Lazarus's death. And I won't get into all of the nuances and all of the fine tuning and all the other little pieces of the narrative and the story. I just want to draw your attention to when Jesus finally arrives. The ascended master is in place. He is there. And Mary and Martha come running on and say, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. Jesus responds. His response is very telling. He says, man, I'm the resurrection and the life. He wasn't just saying that me solely. He was trying to get them as the example to understand that what's in me is also in you. I'm the resurrection and the life. Whoever believeth in me, shall not perish, but have everlasting life, shall never die. Believest thou this? He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? Now, he says this as Lazarus is laying there in the grave stinking. Man, if I jumped into that part and started unpacking that, it would take me a whole nother 30 minutes. So I'm not going to go all the way into that. I just want to get to the part that's important. And so after having that dialogue with them, he then heads down to the grave site. In this particular narrative, I'm going to use Lazarus as a type of your life, of your dreams, of your visions, of your goals, of your highest version of yourself. And there it is lying in the grave, dead, stinking, been there for 4 days, 4 decades, 40 days, however long it's been laying there. And Lord, if you had shown up before now, oh, if something, I've been waiting on something supernatural to fix this thing. And so the Christ, Jesus, is standing at the tomb. And if Jesus is who he claims to be, and we believe that he was, then he's all powerful. He is fully confident in his capacity and his ability to do anything that he desires. This is the same person that cursed the fig tree and then boom, it just died. And so certainly, while standing there at the grave site with this big giant stone in front of the sepulcher, he could have just waved his hand, spoke a word, snapped his finger, and the stone would have rolled away. It would have crumbled into pieces. It would have disappeared and vanished. He could have just done whatever he chose to just think real hard, and the rock would have just disappeared and gone out of the way. But instead, he says, okay, it's something that you desire inside that tomb. There's something that you love is inside that tomb. Something you're connected to is inside that tomb. Something that means something to you is inside that tomb. Something that is important to you, that you're attached to. Something that you desire to have, to hold, to embrace, and to animate and have living, moving, acting, and responding is inside that tomb. If you want it, you take away the stone. Lord have mercy. Listen to what I'm getting ready to say to you. The natural always precedes the supernatural. This is a spiritual principle you need to get and you need to understand. There are supernatural occurrences that take place all the time, but they are 100% of the time preceded by the natural. You do what you have the capacity to do, and then the supernatural comes up as a result of you doing what you have the capacity to do and does the rest. Miracles are born out of you applying yourself and putting forth your effort and doing and reaching into your innate divine ability and doing what you have the capacity to do. Many of you are running from pillar to post and prophet to preacher, from guru to shaman, from life coach to conference, from this one to that one, and hoping that somehow they're going to do something that you don't have the capacity to do. They have no more power or ability than you have. You have to move your own stone. Great day. Somebody should write that one in the comment right there. Move your own stone. And if you happen to be sitting by somebody in your house, in your living room, or wherever you are, just go ahead and tap them and tell them, move your own stone. Say it with some power. Say it with some conviction. Say it intensely. Look them right in their mug and tell them, you need to move your own stone. Stop being a crippled and stop being lazy and stop being dependent and stop begging and pleading for everybody else to do this, that, and the other for you, and move your own stone. It's your stone to move. What you want is just on the other side of the stone. What you desire is just on the other side of the stone. But you can't be so lazy, complacent, and so filled with self-doubt and disempowerment and feeling so weak and crippled and dependent that you don't have the capacity to move your own stone so you can get to the thing that's behind it and begin to speak life to allow the Christ that is the anointing, Christos, the anointing and the anointed one, to emerge from within you, and you're able to speak to that which is laying behind the stone and animate it and give it life again. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? You gotta move I ain't seen nobody put it in the comments yet. Put it in the comments for me. Move your own stone. Stop being lazy. Stop making excuses. Stop being a victim. Stop pretending like you're crippled and you don't know what to do. And I don't know how this happened to me. You know exactly how it happened. It's the result of your choices and your decision. Wasn't no demon, wasn't no devil, wasn't no spell, wasn't no witchcraft or hex, and nothing else. It was you and your choices and your decisions. And so just like you knew how to put the stone there, you know how to move that stone out of the way. But it's going to take some elbow grease. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some hustle. It's going to take some work. It's going to take you putting in the effort, the work, the time to strategically come up with a way to get every obstacle, every obstruction out of your way. And sometimes the obstruction is you. Sometimes the thing standing in your way is your own mindset or your own behavior or your own thoughts, your own perception or your own ideologies or your religion or your cult. Y'all ain't hearing me. And so you got to deal with moving those obstructions out of your way. Everything that's confining you, binding you, obstructing you, everything that is standing in your way, everything that's standing between you and your dream ought to be the target of your power, of your effort, and of your motivated intensity to get it out of the way so you can get to what it is that you desire. So you can make the moves to shift and be prepared for what is unfolding and what is about to take place. Great day in the morning. Good Lord Almighty. Are y'all following what I'm saying? I don't see y'all saying nothing in the comments. I don't see y'all saying nothing in the comments. That tells me a bunch of you sitting there just watching me and ain't saying nothing. That's all right. I'm going to keep talking because I'm just about done. So you have got to be the one to summon your own anointing, your spirit, your energy, and your force to call that which seems like it's dead, to reanimate it and bring it back to life again. But before you can get to it, you have got to move the blockages, the obstructions, the obstacles, and the stones that are keeping you from it. That's the end of my introduction. Here's the message. Long introduction, short message. 10 days before this particular shift begins to take full capacity within the earth. Remember, God does not work for you. God works through you and as you, in you. That nobody's coming to rescue, nobody's coming to fix it. You have the ability to fix it for yourself. Ain't nobody fighting your battles. You got to fight your own battle. You better learn how to fight, and you better learn how to get out there and battle and go and get what you want. This is your sign for you to go get your life back. Go get the life that you desire. And then remember also that you can't put this new wine in the old bottle. So you have to be willing to let go of, divorce yourself of all of the things that you thought you knew and all of the things that may have worked in the past, and be willing to embrace this expansive, expanding consciousness and awakening that's taking place in you right now. You know that gnawing feeling that you've had down inside of you that keeps saying that there's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be more to God than this. I can't believe that this is all there is. This can't just be my life. This can't be that right there. That is new systems, new ideas, new modes of operation, new ways of thinking, trying to emerge within you. Instead of fighting it, embrace it. That's your new wineskin that you'll have prepared to put this new wine in, this new move, this new operation. And remember that the natural precedes the supernatural. You have to do your part. Do your physical part before the supernatural emerges within you. And the Christ, the anointing, the spirit, the force, the energy now flows freely from you to begin to cause to manifest, materialize, or create the miracle that you desire. All right. So what is it that's getting ready to take place? Here it is. Y'all ready? I know you are, because you done waited this long. Those of you who are partners have heard this already, because as soon as it was revealed to me, I revealed it to the partners. That's why those of you who are watching me right now who aren't partners, you need to be a partner, because they've been informed about this, a month and a half ago. Okay. And so they're already making preparations and already positioning themselves. Partnership has its privileges. I'm just saying. If you're not a partner with Emerge, you need to go ahead and become a partner right now. How? Read the description above, and you'll be able to see all the information that you need. That's how you become a partner. Okay? What's coming in June the 1st, is going to begin what I saw clearly in a vision was a desert famine. A desert blazing, intense heat, famine. No vegetation, no water, no shade. Just blazing, intense heat. The earth cracking beneath your feet. Famine. And I was in the vision. It was like I could feel the heat burning against me. I could feel the dehydration and the thirst inside of me. I could feel my body weakening as I stood there in the midst of this desert. And then I looked off in the distance and saw what looked like a mirage. And I started heading toward the mirage. And as I got closer and closer to what I was thinking must be a mirage, an illusion, a delusion, it's the heat that's getting to me, I began to see more clearly that there was an oasis in the middle of the desert. And there were people around this oasis with the water that was there, with had on beach attire and sitting there cooling and chilling and eating and drinking and laughing and having community and fellowship with each other. And then this is what I heard the Spirit of the Lord say to me, that in the month of June will begin an economic and social famine. You better hear what I'm saying. I told you it's a short message, but better hear what I'm saying. And this is not spookify, scare you. You need to be worried and scared and shook up and, oh Lord, what is I going to do? I just told you what you're going to do in the introduction. This is so that you can be prepared. The famine is going to come. You watch what happens with the economic numbers and the indicators that are already taking place, where inflation has been teetering in this country and all around the globe. Everyone's interest rates are around about 4.5% to 5%, 5.5%, or higher in every country. And when the interest rates are high, they think that it's a measure to bring inflation down, but it's not going to work this time. It's going to backfire. It's going to break all of the economic theories that says if we keep the interest rates high, then it will slow inflation down. This time, the theory is going to be broken. And inflation is going to increase globally. There's only one country, and that's Japan, that has zero interest rates, but that's because they artificially try and prop up their economy. That's a whole nother conversation, that they do some really stupid stuff just to try and artificially prop up their economy. But in every other place, interest rates are high, and the feds are trying to keep it there. Their monetary policies are trying to keep those interest rates high, even though corporations are hoping for a rate cut because they're thinking, okay, well, now as the inflation is slowing, then we should be able to get some rate cuts, and basically to feed their greed. Don't let these people fool you into thinking that these rate cuts are all for your benefit. They're not. The corporations want these cuts more than you want them. Oh, it makes it easier for you to be able to get a mortgage and to be able to finance a car. Yeah, to a corporation, through a corporation that's going to benefit from you financing the house and financing the car. But that's a whole nother conversation anyway. An economic and social famine. You think we've already seen a decline in decency? June the 1st, you're going to begin to see other drastic declines. Everybody thinks that Cat Williams kind of opened Pandora's box. He really didn't. He was just an indicator of what is unfolding and about to take place. And you've seen a steady flow now of these uncoverings, revealings of people in positions in high power and authority now being revealed for the monsters that they are. There are more that are coming. But this is not just on those large scales, ladies and gentlemen. If you look around you, you see the decay in morality and decency and human value happening globally throughout humanity, and it's about to pick up speed and intensify. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And no, this is not the last days, and Lord have mercy. Please, please don't weave in the religious rhetoric and propaganda and all that stuff into this. This is a pure word, so I need for you to get the word. No, this is not the last days, not the end time. No, this is not the coming of the Antichrist, the beast, and all the other kind of nonsense. Okay? All right, this is a famine. This is an economic and social famine that is going to have a global effect beginning on the 1st of June. And it is going to continue for a period of time. I'm trying to see if I'm at liberty to say how long. For a period of time. But here's the good news. There is an oasis in the desert. Because you are getting this information ahead of time and you have just been given all of the tools necessary to prepare, then you are able to be gathered at the oasis, sipping teas and mai tais and mojitos and eating and drinking and experiencing a feast in the midst of a famine. You have the opportunity and the ability and the capacity to experience a feast in the midst of the famine. But you have got to divorce yourself from those old mindsets and stop thinking, woe is me, poor pitiful pilgrim passing through this barren land trying to make heaven my home, and start seeing yourself as the divine being you are, with infinite capacity, ability, and limitless ability to create what it is that you desire. Because the oasis that I saw was not created by God. It was created by humanity, by those who are awakened, enlightened, and those who have tapped into their own innate divinity and ability to create a place where those who are enlightened and awakened and understand who they are, fully embracing their divine identity, will be able to experience a feast in the midst of the famine. So there are a number of spiritual practices that you need to employ, that you may already be employing right now, but you need to intensify and increase and accelerate the employment of these principles. Prayer. Affirmative prayer, not the beg and struggle, pleading, oh Lord Jesus, what is I gonna do prayer? Okay. Affirmations, declarations, decreeing and declaring. Fasting. Yes, fasting helps for you to attune your mind, your soul, your interior senses to your spiritual being and essence. It absolutely does. Okay? And I ain't talking about that foolishness, talking about a Daniel fast. Ain't no such thing as a Daniel fast. That's a diet. We just eating fruits and vegetables. That's a diet. That's not a fast. Fasting is abstinence. You abstain from food, period. I'm just going to fast from TV. There ain't no fast. You're just being disciplined. Disciplined enough to watch TV. Not to watch TV, rather. That's not a fast. Period. Okay? Sorry if I upset your little religious horse. But yeah, prayer, affirmations, fasting, meditation. And if you don't know how to meditate, then again, you need to become a partner with Emerge and you can learn how to meditate. We meditate every morning at 6 a.m. Every single morning, without fail. Meditation. And here's the last one that I know is going to give some of you, give you hives. Giving. There are divine laws of abundance that are at work in the universe that cannot be broken. The law of sowing and reaping, the law of compensation, the law of circulation, the law of cause and effect. Okay? The law of abundance, the law of increase. These are universal laws that are at work, designed to always keep you in the flow of abundance in your life. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no ifs, ands, and buts around it. There is no way you can experience abundance if you are operating from a poverty mindset and from a stingy mindset. You have to be a giver of your time, talent, and your treasure. You have to be a giver. You have to be the way you get more. This is the law of the spirit world, the kingdom of God, or whatever terminology you want to use. The way you produce and manifest more is through giving. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give into your bosom. Same measure you meet shall be measured unto you again. Okay? Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Notice that neither of those are in the reverse. All right? Receive, and then you give. Harvest, and then you sow. Man, if I had it, then I would get, man, as soon as I get this, I'm going to get. That's why you don't have nothing. You got to give in order to get. Whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's effort, whether it's love, whether it's joy, what you release into the universe, into the atmosphere, into the spirit world, into the kingdom. I'm using all the terminology so as not to offend anybody. It's all semantics, same thing. Ultimately returns to you, and it returns to you expanded and increased. You want to create a circulation of abundance and a flow of plenty in your life, and you want to start creating that circulation right now. There is nothing more important in your life right now than for you to prepare for what is coming in the next 10 days. There is absolutely nothing more important in your life than for you to prepare for what is coming in the next 10 days. Now, you can ignore everything I just said. Say, oh man, nobody want trying to hear all that, man. Please, I'm fine. I got plenty stored up. Okay. So goes the narrative of the rich young man who had built barns and grew up a mighty harvest. It's so big that he couldn't fit it in the barn. So he tore down the barns and built up another one and put everything in his man and said, so kick back and relax because, hey, you got plenty. Eat, drink, and be merry. All right. But you understand that one event, one catastrophe, one sickness, one illness can wipe it all out just like that. Your source is not money. The Spirit of God within you is the source of your supply. And if you haven't learned, practiced, and aligned yourself with tapping into that spirit, you're going to find yourself tapped out come the month of June for a good period of time. It ain't going to be for a day or two or a week or two or a month or two. You better hear what I'm telling you now. Okay? You better hear what I'm telling you. Get some seed in the ground. Get some currency into the flow so that you are able to create that circulation of currency flowing into your life. Get some grace and love and mercy and compassion and goodness and gentleness and integrity and honesty and beauty into the world, into the universe, into the spirit realm. Begin to build up your love bank because you're going to need it come next month. You're going to need people around you that care for you, love you, that will give you grace and understanding and compassion and understanding and a listening ear. You're going to need some people that you're able to turn to and be naked and not ashamed, be vulnerable with. And you need to prepare for what is coming. Because this is sure as my name is Isaac J. Miles Sr., this is sure as I'm sitting here as a bald-headed black man, it's going to happen. And you can either feast in the famine or you can suffer in the heat. Told you. Long introduction, short message. That's it. I'm done. Any questions, comments, inputs, insights, doubts, fears, criticisms? I don't care. Whatever. Put it in the comments real quick before I get ready to jump off. All right. If not, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get started with giving tonight. This can certainly be a part of your preparing, but it is also just a response of showing your appreciation for what you came on here and received tonight. If you were positively impacted by what you heard tonight, it's only right that you seed into this particular platform and you show your appreciation through your giving. And so I want to give you an opportunity to do so tonight. You can use any of the platforms that you see on your screen right now. Go ahead and take a moment and do it now. Pull out your phone and go to your Cashapp, your Zelle, your PayPal, or your Venmo, and use the information that's on your screen and send whatever seed you'd like to send tonight. I'm not giving you a specific amount. But whatever you feel impressed or intuitively know that you should sow tonight, and whatever way that is, do that right now. Do it while you have your phone in your hand before you get busy doing something else and you forget about what we've already talked about. Go ahead and do it right now. Put substantial seed in as you are preparing for what is getting ready to take place in June. Those of you who are partners, you know what you should be doing. We've talked about this in the partner portal, so you already know. Follow through. We got 10 days. Countdown. 10 days. Count them. Mark it on your calendar. 10 days. Okay? To establish a new thinking, a new mindset, a new outlook, a new perception, a new system, a new paradigm as it unfolds. Oh, yes, Lord. I could say more. I'm going to say more, but I'm going to say that in the partner portal for those who are partners. If you want to know, become a partner. Information is in the description above. Do that and come on and become a partner with the Emerge movement. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you that tuned in and every one of you that are watching. Don't hoard this and keep it to yourself. Please share it with your friends and family. Bookmark it so that you're able to give it to your friends, family, and other ones that you know, and so that they're able to listen in as well. Let's spread the word, increase the reach of this platform so that other people will be positively infected and informed. Thank you for joining me tonight, and you all have an absolutely wonderful evening.
Some of you are even afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
You've been listening to Apostle Isaac Miles, the disruptive innovator, a mentor, an author, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, and the founder and spiritual director at emergelec Life Enrichment Center. Please take a minute to subscribe, like, and share this page. If you'd like to become a partner, you can do so by emailing us at emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Again, that's emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for watching.